Did you know that bats are the only mammals that are capable of sustained flight? Yes, you heard it right. These fascinating creatures come in all shapes and sizes, from the tiny bumblebee bat that weighs less than a penny to the giant golden-crowned flying fox with a wingspan as wide as a human's. They inhabit diverse ecosystems around the globe, be it forests, deserts, or even urban areas. Bats are incredibly diverse, with over 1,000 different species munching on an assortment of diets. Some prefer juicy fruits, while others, like the infamous vampire bat, opt for a blood-based diet. Now, how do these nocturnal creatures navigate in the pitch-black night? They use a special technique known as echolocation, emitting sounds that bounce off objects to map their surroundings and locate their meals. While these facts may sound interesting, they barely scratch the surface. Let's dive deeper into the strange world of bats. Would you believe if we told you that some bats can live up to 40 years? Yes, you heard that right. These tiny winged creatures have an impressive lifespan that puts many other small mammals to shame. Your average mouse, for instance, lives only about 1 to 2 years in the wild. But bats? They've got those numbers beat by decades. A lot of this comes down to a few key factors, including their slow metabolism. Unlike many small mammals that live fast and die young, bats take life at a more leisurely pace. Plus, bats have few natural predators. Their ability to fly and their nocturnal lifestyle keep them safe from many would-be threats. And let's not forget their ability to hibernate during winter, which helps them conserve energy and survive in harsh conditions. So when you think about it, it's not so surprising that bats live for so long. Now that's a long time for a creature so small, isn't it? Contrary to popular belief, not all bats feed on blood. In fact, only 3 out of more than 1,300 species of bats are known to be blood drinkers. These notorious blood guzzlers belong to the Desmodontini subfamily, more commonly known as vampire bats. Let's delve a bit deeper. The diet of these 3 species, the common vampire bat, the hairy-legged vampire bat, and the white-winged vampire bat, is indeed blood. But they have a rather intriguing way of feeding. They don't suck blood as legend would have it. Instead, they make a small incision in the skin of their prey with their razor-sharp teeth and lap up the blood that flows out. A protein in their saliva prevents the blood from clotting, ensuring a smooth meal. Now, why do these bats need blood to survive? Blood is a rich source of proteins and nutrients, especially iron. It's almost like a liquid steak for the bats. However, it lacks one key component: sugar. To make up for this, vampire bats have evolved a special ability to process the blood quickly and efficiently, excreting the water content and concentrating the nutrients. But what about the rest of the bat species? The majority of them feed on insects, making them invaluable pest controllers. Some species, known as fruit bats or flying foxes, enjoy a sweet diet of fruit and nectar. These bats play a crucial role in pollination and seed dispersal, helping to maintain the health and diversity of our ecosystems. In essence, while vampire bats have a blood-based diet, it's a survival strategy rather than a horror story. Bats are not the bloodthirsty creatures of the night they are often depicted to be. They are fascinating creatures, each species with its unique dietary preferences and all playing a vital role in the balance of nature. So, the next time someone mentions bats and blood in the same sentence, you'll know better. Bats are known to carry more than 60 human-infecting viruses, including some that can be deadly. Now, this might sound alarming, but let's delve a little deeper to understand why this is the case. Bats are natural reservoirs for a number of zoonotic viruses, which are viruses that can spread from animals to humans. This includes some pretty notorious ones, like rabies, and several types of coronaviruses. But how do bats carry these viruses without getting sick themselves? The answer lies in their unique immune systems. Unlike humans, bats have immune systems that are always on high alert, ready to fight off intruders at a moment's notice. This heightened immune response, coupled with a relatively low body temperature, creates an environment where viruses can survive but not cause disease. This means that bats can carry and spread these viruses without showing any signs of illness themselves. However, this doesn't mean that bats are to blame for the spread of these diseases. Most of the time, these viruses only jump to humans when we come into close contact with bats or their habitats, often due to human activities like deforestation or wildlife trade. Furthermore, bats play a crucial role in our ecosystems. They help control insect populations, pollinate plants, and disperse seeds. Without them, our world would look very different. So while it's true that bats carry a number of viruses, it's important to remember that they are not the villains here. Our interactions with them and the destruction of their habitats are what really drive the spread of these diseases. Understanding bats and the diseases they carry is crucial in our fight against zoonotic diseases. By studying them, we can learn more about these viruses and how they spread, which can help us prevent future outbreaks. It's a strange paradox, isn't it? Bats, while being carriers of deadly diseases, rarely get sick themselves. So next time you see a bat, remember, they're not just creatures of the night, they're also essential parts of our ecosystems and invaluable resources for scientific research. Bats are masters of echolocation, a technique that even surpasses modern sonar technology. Imagine being able to navigate the world around you using only sound. For bats, this is a reality. You see, bats are nocturnal creatures, which means they are active when the sun goes down and the world is enshrouded in darkness. In such conditions, vision is not very helpful, so bats rely on another sense, hearing. This is where echolocation comes in. Bats emit high-frequency sound waves, which are too high for human ears to detect. When these sound waves hit an object, they bounce back to the bat. The bat's brain then interprets these echoes to form a sonic map of their surroundings. This allows them to precisely pinpoint the location, size, and even texture of objects around them. But how accurate is this echolocation? Well, it's so refined that bats can detect objects as fine as a human hair in complete darkness. That's right. A bat can figure out the presence of a single strand of hair using only sound. This is an essential skill for them when hunting for tiny insects in the pitch-black night. Moreover, each species of bat has its unique echolocation call. This helps them not only avoid colliding with each other while flying in groups, but also aids in social communication. It's as if they have their language of echoes. Interestingly, bats are not born with the ability to echolocate. Baby bats, known as pups, learn this skill from their mothers and through practice, much like how human babies learn to speak. Over time, their echolocation abilities become more refined, allowing them to navigate with incredible precision. Their mastery of echolocation is so impressive that it's been an inspiration for human technologies. Sonar used in submarines and ships is a prime example of this. Yet despite our technological advancements, we're still trying to catch up with the echolocation prowess of bats. Isn't it fascinating how these small creatures have mastered a technique that we humans are still trying to perfect? From being the only mammals capable of sustained flight to living up to 40 years, bats are truly unique creatures. We've journeyed together through the mysterious and intriguing world of bats, and it's safe to say that these creatures are far from ordinary. They've shattered our expectations at every turn, and their capabilities have left us in awe. Let's take a moment to reflect on what we've learned. Remember when we discussed how bats are the only mammals capable of continuous flight? It's not just a simple flap of wings. It's a complex process involving precision, strength, and an extraordinary sense of direction. This alone sets bats apart in the mammalian kingdom, but they don't stop there. We also explored the surprising lifespan of bats. Some species can live up to 40 years, a feat that defies our understanding of small mammals' lifespans. It's not just about the years, though. It's about how bats spend those years, contributing to the ecosystem in significant ways. Speaking of contributions, we can't overlook their varied diet. From insects to fruits and even blood, bats have a wide-ranging palate. Their feeding habits play a crucial role in controlling pests, pollination, and seed dispersal. But it's not all rosy. We also delved into the darker side of bats, their role in spreading diseases. From rabies to coronaviruses, bats are known carriers of some of the world's deadliest pathogens. And lastly, we marveled at bats' echolocation abilities. They use sound waves to navigate and hunt, a remarkable adaptation that is nothing short of a biological marvel. Through all of this, we've seen that bats are more than just creatures of the night. They're survivors, they're contributors, and above all, they're fascinating subjects of study. And with that, we wrap up our exploration of the strange and fascinating world of bats. Remember, there's always more to learn, so keep your curiosity alive.